Alright guys, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. It's been a while since I've made my last video. I bought books at Always yesterday. We have a couple books that will be in our to be read for next year, but we're gonna make this book as not just a TBR, but a book as we're gonna read right now, known as Tombquest Book 3, Valley of the Kings. So this is what the book we are going to be reading today is. It looks kind of interesting. I mean, from the cover, you can't judge a book by its cover, but by the cover you can see it looks kind of like an ancient god book. I don't even know. Then we also have Geek Fantasy Novel, which will be read probably around next year, probably around then. Now as I'm 14, I'm upgrading into older books, so you won't see much younger kid content that much on this channel. Maggie's, I don't even know how you pronounce the name, Mr. Impossible will be read next year. If you have heard of any of these books and you like them, well, stay tuned for next year when I introduce these book series. I probably will only read one book per month. I think will be around then. Once I finish this book that we're reading now, I will probably read another book sometime later on next year, but for right now we're only going to be reading those. Then probably one of our final books we're probably going to be reading next year and probably into 2025 will be Spider-Man Enemies Closer. This is the book Spider-Man Enemies Closer. I have been looking forward to reading this. I don't know. I didn't even see this book. I didn't even know a Spider-Man book existed until yesterday. When I picked it up, I was like, okay, I have to read this. So I decided to read it for you guys so I could see my reaction to it as well. So this is a blind reaction, a blind reading of me. Blind does not mean I'm blind. It basically means it's like my first reaction to something. Your first reaction to something is also known as a blind reaction, and we're going to be reading Tombquest Book 3, Valley of the Kings, and I've decided to read this because why the heck not? I know it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas. I hope it got you everything that you wanted. Another book we'll probably be reading sometime next year is Who is Harry Styles? So yeah, we still have a lot of books to be read this year and next year. So let's just continue. The reason there are so many boxes behind us is, if you don't know, back in the last day of May, our house got hit by a car. On May, I think it was November, I think it was a day right before, either 2 days or a day before Thanksgiving, we moved into the house. So we did not have these boxes because we actually had to get new carpet. This was the carpet we wanted. We got carpet that we didn't want, so we had to wait till we got the carpet, and now as it's Christmas, it doesn't look like Christmas and stuff, so it's kind of like a mid-Christmas for us, so. Anyways, we're going to be reading Tombquest, Book 3, Valley of the Kings, Chapter 1. So, here we go. It's called Hungry Ghosts. His name was Abadel. Once he had been Mr. Cheyenne, the boss of 10 men, but like so many and Carol, he had fallen on hard times. Now he was a proud man in a cheap suit, a good man in bad company. Desperation had brought him here, but he was worried. "What's this job you have for me?" he said, trying hard to hold his voice steady. The tiring man next to him answered with the same 3 words as last time: "You will see." Abadel glanced over at him. Was this man truly the leader of the order, the criminal cult that had haunted Egypt for thousands of years? He certainly looked the part, tall and strong and wearing a suit more expensive than Abadel's car. Under his arm was a large, elegant leather bag. "Nothing illegal," Abadel added. "You promised me." "Of course not," said the man, a hint of amusement slipping into his flat, cold voice. "As I said, you are here to help." Abadel nodded, forcing himself to think of the food he would buy his family, maybe even long overdue birthday gifts for his children. Still, he wondered what sort of help he could offer in the drafty warehouse on the edge of the city. Their footsteps echoed in the massive space as they approached a heavy steel door. "Here we are," said the cult leader. Abadel eyed the thick bar holding the door closed as the man slipping the bag from under his arm and began unzipping it. "You will excuse my appearance," he said, removing a heavy golden mask and letting the bag fall to the floor. But as you know, we are a very old organization, and we have certain traditions. Abadel had hoped those traditions were rumors or exaggerations, but now he knew better. He gaped at the mask. He was an Egyptian vulture made of finely wrought gold, showing every fold and pockmark of the vulture's skin. The beak was forged of sharp iron. The leader slipped it on carefully, and his words echoed out from underneath. "Open the door." Abadel suddenly understood that he had made a deal with the You've got to be kidding me, right? Had made the deal with the devil. He knew that he should refuse, that he should run, and yet the powerful voice thundered in his head, robbed him of his will. With fear-widened eyes, he watched his own hand pull the handle of the bar up and back. The door began to rattle against its hinges, and fresh voices reached his ears. A chorus of sinister whispers buzzed around him, and his warm skin went cold. The bar slid aside with a loud thunk. Suddenly the door opened inwards, releasing a rush of stinking air and swarm of dark whispers so strong that Abadel could feel them, like snakes' tongues on his skin. And for a moment, one brief horrible moment, he saw an abomination. That should not be, he managed. Two powerful hands pushed him, strong palms slapping his back. Oof! He gasped as he stumbled forward into the room. The door slammed shut behind him, and in the sudden darkness he heard the bars slide shut. 10,000 whispers combined into one word, "Welcome," before shattering back into pieces. Unleashed, the heavy whispers cut into him, no longer tongues but teeth. His body they were devouring, it was his soul. The effect was the same. His pulse revved for a moment from fear and pain, then it thickened and slowed, and finally it stopped. What was left of his soul slipped free of his body and was torn to bits, devoured. Abadel Sheehan was a good man, and that was what they liked. Elsewhere in the old warehouse, a second man emerged from the shadows. He had kept his distance during the feeding. What the hell am I reading? Excuse my language, but what the hell am I reading? And now cast a nervous look at the buried door, little more than a ridiculous decoration. He knew he was inside, could not be contained. What was inside could not be contained. In a sense, it was already loose. The man pried his eyes from the door. "We have received information from the source," he said. "Have the amulet keepers arrived?" said the leader carefully, placing the heavy mask back in its leather carrier. "Yes," said the man. "They are there, and Pasware awaits them," said the leader. The man hesitated. "Yes, but are you sure this is the right way? If we give them more time, if they follow them, they could lead us to the spells." "No," said the leader flatly. "They had troubled us enough. We will cut them down, leave the others in a ditch. But bring me the boy. Whatever he knows of his mother, we will wiring from him." The man nodded, challenging the leader on anything was dangerous. Challenging him about the boy could be suicide. I had told Pushwar this, but she had no mercy in her. I worry she will kill them all, and whatever they know will die with them. Then tell her to think of it as playing with her prey," said the leader, zipping up the bag. "Cats are good at that." Oh, for the love of gosh. Oh my gosh, man, what did I just read? And it's Christmas and I read something about the devil. Oh my gosh. Oh my. What did I just read, bro? That was the most stupidest book ever. And I've only read one chapter into it, and it's such an inappropriate book for a Christian believer like me. Oh my gosh. And the fact is, I'm kind of hooked into it now. A little bit. Just because of like how it's like Egyptian stuff. Goodness gracious, I am not reading that. Subscribe, like, comment, favorite, share. I'll see you on chapter 2 sometime. Never. Oh my.